that we're getting extras. So so far the next part of Steve's question is: secondly, Luke Harper coming back to be with Bray was not a big deal at all. I think it was meant to get over. This happened last year, so why would anyone give a damn? Do you think Harper versus Bray would have been better? Well, we just spoke about that, funny enough, and yes, absolutely, I think that would have been better. But here's what would have been even more better. That Luke Harper doesn't even come out like that, and Luke Harper just does something on his own for a while before you even get to that match, because it's just so sudden, it's so soon. That he's come back and joined with him. I would have liked, even if you knew he had to be back with him, let's tease the idea that he's not going to be. You know, let's play about with that for the next couple of weeks. But no, of course, he's straight away back with him, like nothing's changed. So it's really disappointing, both storyline wise and as a viewer. Matt, a match between those two, I'm guessing you're the same as me. It would have been better.
Yeah, I mean, Luke Harper, I find him highly entertaining to watch. It's just his character. There's been no progression through Luke Harper's character from day one to what it is now. He's the same old follower. He just follows. You know, if he had a mind of his own, you know, he'd be dangerous.
Yeah. I'm with you on that one. Thank you very much, Steve, for your question. Next question is from Ricky. Heard loads of rumours that TNA has sold its video library to WWE. Can you tell me if this is true, and what does this mean for TNA now? Well, nothing is official, Ricky, first and foremost. This rumour, I mean, rumours in wrestling are very common, let's say, aren't they, Matt? Because we on a daily basis, you're going to hear something in the wrestling world. And sometimes it's factual, and a lot of times it's a load of rubbish, as we hear it all the time, Matt. But in this instance, the whole TNA library, I mean, it did blow up a little bit last week, Matt. There is reason why WWE would want that library. I'm not going to doubt that. The only issue around is that people seem to think that WWE are going to buy the entire TNA product. There's no reason for WWE to buy the TNA product. Because they've got all the best talent anyway. I mean, literally, they haven't had to buy TNA out to get the talent. The talent have left. Bobby Roode, AJ Styles, all these guys, Austin Aries, they're there. They're in WWE. So, it's not for the talent. And also, TNA don't hold full-time contracts over all their guys now anyway. They don't work the house shows anymore. So, it's not like WWE are going to go, we want your ring, and we want that great TV channel you're on. That's a great spot, because they're going to gain nothing, but they would gain, Matt, something from the library, because then guys like Samoa Joe, you can see their background, and you could have more on Sting, I guess. You could have another added part to his DVD. Have you heard anything more, Matt, with the whole selling? Because I mean, this whole selling business. TNA's selling problem goes on daily. It's not like it's never going to be cleared up until it's sold, and it's because let me tell you, every week they struggle. From what I understand, Billy Corgan on the day before Bound for Glory had to fund it all. I mean, he just signed on another week to again own it, but he's not the sole owner yet. So it's a right mess, to be honest with you. And then you've got political problems with Dixie Carter, who she wants to sell it to, and all the rest of it. So, Matt, I mean, in all honesty, TNA's having a really good run on TV. Actually, what's going on is great, but it come at the worst time. It's come at a time when they want to sell it.
I'm really enjoying the show. I'm hoping that it keeps going. I wouldn't be that upset, if they did sell off their library. I mean, TNA doesn't particularly use their back catalogue that well anyway, and they're not releasing too many DVDs. They don't have a network to play it all on. If they did sell all that to WWE, great, because it's great for the fans. Then the fans can watch it and then relive all these great moments of TNA's past. Because they did have a great past. They put on some tremendous matches in the past. And then people would be able to appreciate it again. And then, TNA would be able to get some funds, help pay off the debts that they've got, and then look to the future where they could, like reinvent themselves and become something good again. You know, if Dixie's gonna like have a problem, you know, like about who she sells what to and whatever, you know, that's too looking like in the past. You know, look towards the future. You know, just move on. And I really hope Billy Corgan can sort of like revitalise this company because it's worth saving.
I think, from what I gather, I think that the way it would have to work, I reckon anyway, is that WWE, if they buy TNA's library, then Billy would probably he'd probably rebrand it into a new company. I think that's what he wants to do. I think Dixie's not liking that idea because she thinks she's built up TNA as a credible name. But let's face it, anything with TNA on it at the moment is not credible. I mean, if you're an outside investor, you don't really want to sell it with TNA on it because it's been a nightmare in the last couple of years. I mean, you know, it's a real dilemma that they have there. It's a shame that it's come at this time because I think they're doing some of their best work. But you know, listen, if WWE ends up getting that library, I would say it's probably game over for the TNA name because I can't imagine TNA like fans are going to be watching on the network and it's like, okay, Vince is not going to do that. He's not going to give them free advertising in that way. But I think they have a chance to sell up, get a last bit of money, and then rebrand the whole bloody thing. You know, that's the best thing they can hope for at this point. But we'll see what happens. It won't be the last we hear of that, I can assure you. DX1, do you think there is any truth to a Goldberg-Brock Lesnar match at Survivor Series? Side note, 2K Games needs to be given credit for a great promotional job. Yeah, I totally agree with that last statement. I've said that last on the podcast. I think they've done an excellent job with their promoting and who they get involved with these games. It's probably better than WWE at the moment. So yeah, kudos to them. Goldberg, Brock Lesnar, Matt, we heard about this as well last week. This was another big thing that came out. Goldberg appeared on ESPN as well, but he didn't give too much away. Likelihood of this happening, Matt, out of 10 for you at Survivor Series?
Oh, Survivor Series, you know, I'm not too sure. I mean, this, you know, Survivor Series would be great, but, you know, when they have matches like this, and after the WrestleMania we had last year, it just makes me think, please, can it be a WrestleMania? I don't want another disappointing WrestleMania. But, you know, likelihood of this match happening at all for me would be about 7, I would say, because, you know, the game is a great stepping stone. It's what Sting used, wasn't it? He used the game and then he was brought into the company. No reason why Goldberg can't do it. Goldberg, from what I've heard, sounds very interested in having another 1 or 2 more matches, you know, because, you know, from what I've heard, he's one of his kids hadn't seen him have that part of his life, you know, so it would be nice for him to share that. And that's great, you know, I think he's in tremendous shape, he can do this. WWE may have their reservations because Sting was at an advanced age when he made his comeback and it didn't really pan out too well. But, you know, I think Goldberg's in great shape and they could do this. It's just reservations about age and the terrible match they had last time.
Yeah, I don't want to think about that. Here's the thing, I would say out of 10, I'm going to go on a 4. And the only reason I say a 4 is I'm not discounting Goldberg coming back, but I'm not sure it'll be Brock. I think people would like to see that. It's great on paper, but tell me if I'm wrong, Matt. I mean, if Goldberg, you know what Goldberg's like. We've all heard the stories. He's very much of the political game. He's not going to want to bow down to Brock quickly. In his first match back, if he thinks there's something for this. I would like to see Goldberg back, but I don't know it's Brock that he has to face. I think I would like to see him against another wrestler. You know, still a good name, but maybe not Brock.
I'm glad. I'm glad you mentioned that, actually, because I was having this conversation with someone else the other day, and I was saying, you know, like, well, people are talking about Goldberg coming back, and we was like, yeah, it's a great idea, but, you know, I think... like you just said, there are many other wrestlers that could benefit from this more, you know?
And I don't think Goldberg, it would be right for Goldberg to be the guy that beats Brock. I think that'd be ridiculous. When you've built Brock up to this mountain like he is now, to something then get beat out of nowhere by Goldberg again, I mean, that doesn't benefit too much. And I don't think Goldberg is the best idea for him to just come back and lose either. So I would like to see Goldberg back. Yes, I do think there's a lot of money in it, and it will circulate a hell of a lot of interest. And the other great thing about it is, as well, is the timing of Survivor Series and that 2K game coming out. It makes perfect sense. So I do think there's potential in Goldberg being there, but I'm just not sure it's Brock, because from what I'm hearing, Brock's dates are done. So if Brock was going to come back, WWE are going to have to renegotiate a Brock. I mean, God knows how much money this guy's already made, Matt, but another match. I mean, this guy's going to be on an absolute fortune, isn't he?
So perhaps we could end up having the best of both worlds. Maybe we'll get a match with Goldberg at Survivor Series, and then maybe we'll get the Brock one at WrestleMania.
We could do, yeah, we could well do. And don't forget, San Antonio, Texas, is the Royal Rumble, which is in a big old arena. Anybody who remembers from '97 Royal Rumble, which is quite ironic, Matt, because we go 20 years back next year when we do these. It's going to be from the exact same arena on the exact same event. So that'll be interesting. But that's a big audience, and let's face it, Matt, the last 3 years of Royal Rumble have been bloody dreadful. They really need to pull something out in front of a 70,000 crowd or whatnot they're expecting for that Royal Rumble. So, I wouldn't be too, I would say let's leave it for then as well, because they might need it.
I'm really looking forward to reviewing some retro Royal Rumbles. My favourite event is a Royal Rumble, so I can't wait to get stuck into them.
Yeah, that's good. Okay, let's go to another question. This is from Leah. I absolutely love the Broken Matt character. I would really like to see him in WWE again. If this happened, who would you both like to see him feud against, and why? So, Matt, Broken Matt, coming back to WWE, is there anybody that stands out as being a really good feud?
Well, a lot of people are going to say Bray, aren't they? But man, do we need to see that? Do we need to see? Bray's already. I think he's too damaged. They say Matt's damaged. I think Bray's character is too damaged for that kind of thing. They'd probably do it something safe. They'd go with Kane or something. I don't know, but. I don't know. Off the top of my head, Dean Ambrose, I'd say. Dean Ambrose needs something like this. He needs something to bring him back to what he was, because he's lost a lot of credibility now, and he's not the kind of good guy or the face that everyone was looking up to now, and he's losing a little bit kind of his momentum. I think something like that would be something that would give people an excuse to get back into Dean Ambrose. I'm going to be
really controversial, Matt, and I'm going to say Roman Reigns.
Oh,
because I think they could do some great work there. I think Matt Hardy could come out and say, he needs to be deleted, and have Roman be almost what Jeff's doing, Brother Nero, and make him a follower for a while, and then maybe people will wait for him to turn back again, and we'll be waiting for that moment. But yes, I'll say Roman Reigns, because I think he's the one that's the most complicated in that WWE roster, and I think it could be quite exciting to see those two, and especially where Roman's at. Like, I'm always trying to give Roman something different to do, because I think he's just absolutely lost in what he's doing. So okay, I'm going to say Roman Reigns.
He'd have to get his hands on Meek Man sometime, wouldn't he?
Meek Man, yes, exactly. We wouldn't mind seeing that either. Maybe we'll see, a Stephanie or something like that, or a Shane involved. It could be pretty cool. Okay, let's go to another question. Kevin77 just wanted to find out Matt's reaction having Sasha Banks winning the title again on Raw main event against Charlotte. So this was a question that came in last week, but obviously we weren't here because we were doing King of the Ring. But question just for you there, Matt. You're exclusive here.
That's a difficult kind of reaction I had then, because I was watching it and I was thinking, well, great, okay, great for Sasha, I like Sasha, I think, it's great that she's a champion again, but this just kind of feels like, well, this is what we had before, it just feels like there was a stopgap in between, like Charlotte had to carry the title because Sasha couldn't. It just feels like they didn't actually rewrite anything, they just went, we just changed this month over for a little bit, but then everything can resume like it was normal.
Yeah.
So I was kind of disappointed in that. You know, it's her second title reign, but really it's her first because that was the way it was intended. So she's got two now, but really it should be one. I'm not complaining about that, but it just